What up, y'all? It's Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Monday, September 17th, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Director Todd Phillips posted on Instagram Sunday the first photo of Joaquin Phoenix in their standalone Joker film. Phillips captioned the image of Phoenix, author, who stares at the camera, unsmiling, and without the titular villain's signature clown makeup. Phoenix has unkempt, collar-length hair and is wearing a rumpled button-down shirt and jacket in the picture. Phoenix's previous films include To Die For, Gladiator, Quills, Her, and Walk the Line. Phillips is known for helming the Hangover comedy trilogy. Warner Brothers plans to release the Joker origin film will be October 4th, 2019. Peter Farrelly's 1960 set dramedy Green Book, starring Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, earned the Grosse People's Choice Awards at the Toronto International Film Festival Sunday. The first runner-up was Barry Jenkins' If Beale Street Could Talk, and the second runner-up was Alfonso Cuarón's Roma, the festival's website said. The Grosse People's Choice Midnight Madness Award went to Vasson Bala's The Man Who Feels No Pain, Markoto Dar Naha. First runner-up in the contest was David Gordon Green's Halloween, and second runner-up was Sam Livingston's Assassin's Nation. Ichai Vashishali and Jimmy Chin won the Grosse People's Choice Documentary Award for Free Solo. First runner-up was Tom Donahue's This Changes Everything, and second runner-up was John Chester's The Biggest Little Farm. Wing Ding Ho's City of Last Things won the Toronto Platform Prize, and Carmel Winter's Float Like a Butterfly won the prize for International Federation of Film Critics Discovery Program. Guy Nateb's Skin earned the prize for the International Federation of Film Critics Special Presentations, and Ash Mayfair's The Third Wife scored the NetPack Award. Netflix says it has acquired the rights to High Flying Bird and plans to release a Steven Soderbergh's basketball-themed movie in 2019. The press release from the streaming service says, during a basketball lockout, a sports agent pitches a rookie basketball client on an intriguing and controversial business proposition. Moonlight scribe Terrell Alvin McCraney wrote the film and Soderbergh directed it. The cast includes André Holland-Zazie Beetz, Melvin Gregg, Sonia Jean, Zachary Quinto, Kyle MacLachlan, and Bill Duke. Soderbergh said in a statement, "We have had several strong options for distributing High Flying Bird, but to borrow the pathos of the movie itself, this feels like a slam dunk and the perfect way for me to begin my relationship with Netflix as a director." Soderbergh's films include the Ocean's Trilogy, Aaron Brockovich, Traffic, Magic Mike, and Logan Lucky. Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt have finished work on the Walt Disney Studios adventure Jungle Cruise. Johnson tweeted Friday, "On behalf of this big brown, bald, tattooed man and my boundlessly talented, elegant, incomparable co-star Emily Blunt, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, that is an official wrap of our epic at Disney Studios Jungle Cruise. This one's for you, Walt." The post includes a brief video of Johnson and Blunt in their costumes walking through a studio lot and ultimately joining the film's crew to thank them for their hard work. As the clip closes, everyone threw their hats in the air to celebrate the end of production. Set for release in October, the comedy is based on Disney's classic theme park ride. It co-stars Jess Plemons, Jack Wick-Hull, and Edgar Ramirez. Breaking Bad alum Aaron Paul has been cast in the upcoming third season of HBO's sci-fi series Westworld. Paul's role on the drama is being kept under wraps, with Deadline noting that the actor will be a series regular. Paul said on Twitter, in reference to Evan Rachel Wood's Dolores character, "I feel like I'm in a dream, Dolores. Can you wake me up from this dream?" #Westworld. Westworld, which explores artificial consciousness, was renewed for a third season in May. Thandie Newton, Jeffrey Wright, and James Marsden also stars as part of the ensemble cast. Paul, who's a three-time Emmy winner, is best known for portraying Jesse Pinkman on AMC's Breaking Bad. He also starred on the Hulu series The Path, which was canceled after 3 seasons in April. He'll be seen on Apple's upcoming drama Are You Sleeping? Star Trek and American Horror Story alum Zachary Quinto is to play an immortal creature who feeds off the souls of children in AMC's supernatural horror series Nosferatu. Production began this week in Rhode Island on the small screen adaptation of Joe Hill's novel, which sees what is left of Charles Max's victims in prison in a village where it is Christmas every day and is illegal to be unhappy, the cable network said in a press release. Hounds of Love actress Ashley Cummings will play Vic McQueen, an artist with a dangerous gift, and The Handmaid's Tale director Carrie Underwood will helm the first 2 episodes of the 10-part series. Drama. The series is to premiere in 2019. Showrunner Jamie O'Brien said in a statement Thursday, "As a huge fan of Joe Rich's rich, imaginative, and exciting book, I'm over the moon to be working with such a phenomenal cast and creative team on this special project." Quinto recently started hosting a new version of the History Channel's docuseries In Search Of. He also co-starred in the Broadway play The Boys in the Band with Jim Parsons, Matt Bomer, and Andrew Rannells. Viola Davis is back in the classroom in a new teaser trailer for Season 5 of ABC's How to Get Away with Murder. The clip released Thursday features Davis as Professor Annalise Keaton, returning to teaching for the first time following the events of Season 4. Davis says to her new classmates, "Despite what you think, this is not a class at all. This is a sacrifice, brutal, mean, depressing, but that's what it costs to change the world. So who wants it?" The teaser also hints at a wedding between Oliver, played by Conrad Ricamora, and Conrad, played by hints at a wedding between Oliver, played by Conrad Ricamora, and Conrad, played by Jack Falahy, and Frank, played by Charlie Weber, as having to deliver some bad news. How to Get Away with Murder Season 5 will premiere on September 27th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. A sequel series following up the Georgia Set sitcom Designing Women will air on ABC, not the original show's home of CBS. Starring Ditsy Carter, Annie Potts, Jean Smart, Delta Burke, and Meshach Taylor, the series initially ran from 1986 to 1993. It follows the lives of the Sugar Baker sisters and their colleagues at an upscale interior design firm. Series creator Linda Bloodworth Thompson told The Hollywood Reporter, "I'm very excited to be working with ABC, and Sony has always been a great partner for Designing Women. Normally, I'm not a fan of reboots, but Designing Women does seem to have the rightful feng shui of all that is going on right now. We could definitely have some fun." No casting has been disclosed yet. Carter and Taylor died after the original series ended. Reports that Bloodworth Thompson was looking for a network to partner with the revival of Designing Women has been swirling since last month. Bloodworth Thompson's announcement said that she got a script commitment from ABC came a day after she penned a guest column in the entertainment trade newspaper condemning CBS Chief Executive Officer Leslie Moonves for maligning her career by refusing to give her another show despite the enormous success of Designing Women. Bloodworth Thompson wrote, "I was never sexually harassed or attacked by Les Moonves. My encounter was much more subtle, endangering a different kind of destruction." Moonves resigned this week amid allegations of sexual harassment. He has denied any wrongdoing. The sequel to Designing Women is part of a recent trend of reviving shows from the 1980s and 90s. Among the familiar sounding titles brought back, most of which their cast members intact, are Twin Peaks, Murphy Brown, Full House, Roseanne, and Will and Grace. Will, played by Eric McCormack, and Grace, played by Deborah Messing, can't come to terms with their parents' wedding in a new clip from Season 10 of Will and Grace. The teaser, released Friday on Twitter, features Will and Grace being made fun of by their friends Karen, played by Megan Mullany, and Jack, played by Sean Hayes, after witnessing Will's mother, Marilyn, played by Bliff Danner, tied the knot with Grace's father, Martin, played by Robert Klein. Jack says while laughing, "Who doesn't love a wedding?" The look on Will and Grace's face when his mother and her father said "I do" was priceless. Added that Karen before Will and Grace are seen staring blankly in shock. The clip takes place following the Season 9 finale where Martin proposed to Marilyn. Will and Grace Season 10 sets to premiere on October 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBC. Will feature a number of guest stars, including Matt Bomer, Olympic figure skater Adam Rippon, Minnie Driver reprising her role as Karen's enemy Lorraine, Alec Baldwin, Chelsea Handler, John Cryer, and Mary McCormick. Friends alum David Schwimmer will also be featured in a recurring guest role as a new love interest for Grace. Mylene Robinson is to play Gina Williams Connor, DJ's wife and U.S. soldier returning from Afghanistan on the ABC sitcom The Connors. Robinson will be a series regular on the Roseanne spin-off along with Michael Fishman's DJ, John Goodman's Dan, Laurie Metcalf's Jackie, Sarah Gilbert's Darlene, Lacey Goranson's Becky, Emma Keeney's Harris, Ames McNamara Mark, and Jane Ray's Mary. The character of Gina was first introduced as a child in a 1994 episode of Roseanne's titled White Men Can't Kiss. She also occasionally appeared as an adult via Skype from where she was deployed in the recent short-lived revival of Roseanne. She is the mother of DJ's daughter, Mary. The synopsis reads, "We're thrilled to welcome the incredibly talented Mylene Robinson to the cast this season. Her character, Second Lieutenant Gina Connor, whom a younger DJ was reluctant to kiss in his high school play, comes full circle as his wife and Mary's mother, bringing back a little piece of Connor's history. Yet, while Gina is no stranger to the family, viewers old and new will enjoy seeing how her military-style discipline meshes with the Connors' more laid-back attitude. The Connors will now feature series creator and star Roseanne Barr and is scheduled to premiere on October 16th. Roseanne initially ran from 1988 to 1997 and remained popular in reruns. It earned high ratings when it returned this spring and was renewed for another season, but the show was canceled and Barr was fired in May after Barr tweeted a racially insensitive joke about a former Obama administration official. In June, ABC announced it was moving forward with the spin-off of Roseanne without its titular matriarch. The Golden Globes Awards will continue to air on NBC for the next 8 years thanks to a new deal the network signed with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The HFPA is the group that chooses the winners of the prizes. The gala honoring excellence in film and television has been broadcast on NBC for the past 23 years. The next edition of the ceremony is to take place January 6th. Nominations are to be announced December 6th. Robert Greenblatt, the chairman of NBC Entertainment, said in a statement Friday, "We look forward to airing the Golden Globe Awards on NBC for the next 8 years at last. We've been the proud home of the Globe since 1996, and over those decades we've honored to have been part of its transformation into Hollywood's most joyous award ceremony. And this year will be no different." Mayor Tana, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's president, says the member of the HFPA are delighted to continue our long association with NBC. We are looking forward to celebrating our 24th show together on January 6th. Filming is underway in England on the 5th and final season of the BBC romantic drama Poldark. Unlike the Winston Graham novels, which is based, the 18th century set show will not feature a 10-year time jump, however. Scheduled to premiere in 2019, Season 5 is to include events that take place between the 7th and 8th books in its 12-story series. Screenwriter Debbie Horsfield said in the press release, "In the 8th book, The Stranger from the Sea, Winston Graham made many references to developments that happened in the gap years. Much can also be inferred. There are, of course, also historical events and people of time, both in Cornwall and in London. Series 5 will draw on all of these to follow the lives of the Poldarks, George Warlegan, the Ences, and the Carns in this intervening period. The change in narrative has the blessing of Graham's son Andrew, who serves as a series consultant on behalf of the Winston Graham estate. The other Graham died in 2003 at the age of 95. Graham says, "No one can know what my father would have felt about the forthcoming series, let alone what he might have written." However, Debbie Horsfield has demonstrated such an extraordinary affinity with his work and shows such remarkable skills in bringing his Poldark characters to the screen that we know we are in safe hands. Indeed, without her, the estate would have not agreed to Series 5 in this form. Aidan Turner and Eleanor Tomlinson will once again return as Rose and Delmelza Poldark. Co-starring are Jack Farthington, Luke Norris, Gabrielle Wilde, Elsie Chappell, Harry Richardson, Tom York, and Beatty Etney. Season 4 has already aired on the BBC in the United Kingdom. It will debut on PBS in the United States on September 30th. Our family actress Sarah Hyland celebrated on Instagram Sunday her one-year anniversary of dating Wells Adams. She captioned a fun beach photo of the pair cuddling. "1 year ago today, you asked to hold my purse when I was dancing. In that moment, you took my heart. You then gave me my first kiss. And in that moment, you took my breath away. I love you to Pluto and back at Wells Adams. Yes, Pluto is a planet. It will always be." Adams is smiling and has sunglasses on in the snapshot, and Hyland is wearing a bikini top and sticking out her tongue. The 27-year-old actress brought her 34-year-old boyfriend to her 10-year high school reunion in New York in July. Adams was a contestant on season 12 of The Bachelorette. Friends alum Matthew Perry has returned to Twitter for the first time since March to give fans an update on his health. He tweeted Friday, 3 months in the hospital bed, check. E-News said it is unclear exactly what kept him in bed so long. People.com said Sunday Perry is finally heading home after his extended hospital stay, but the magazine offered no other details regarding his condition. Perry's representative said last month the 49-year-old actor underwent surgery in Los Angeles to repair a gastrointestinal perforation. His spokesperson said at the time he is grateful for the concern and asks for continued privacy as he heals. Perry is also known for his work on The Odd Couple, The West Wing, Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. Kelly Clarkson has announced a new North American tour that begins in 2019 in support of her album Meaning of Life. The tour is set to kick off on January 24th at the Oracle Arena in Oakland before wrapping up on March 30th at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Clarkson will also be performing in cities such as Los Angeles, Kansas City, Detroit, Chicago, Dallas, Boston, Cleveland, and Nashville, among others. Joining Clarkson are opening acts, singers Chelsea Ballerini and Bryn Cartelli. Tickets go on sale for the general public starting on September 24th. A pre-sale for American Express card members will take place from September 17th at 10 a.m. until September 23rd at 10 p.m. Clarkson posted on Instagram Friday a promotional video for the tour featuring herself, Ballerini, and Cartelli singing together. Pregnant country music star Carrie Underwood says the fall and serious facial injuries she sustained in it were not the only terrible things that happened to her in the last year or so. She said on CBS Sunday Morning, I kind of planned that 2017 was, going to be the year that I work on new music and I have a baby. We got pregnant in early 2017 and didn't work out. She said, it happens, and that was the thing in the beginning, and it was like, okay, God, we know this is just wasn't your timing, and that is all right. We'll bounce back and figure out through it. And got pregnant again in the spring, and it didn't work out. Got pregnant again in early 2018, didn't work out. So at that point, it was just kind of like, okay, like what's the deal? What is all this? Underwood said she worked through her pain, and one of the results in her new album, Cry Pretty. She recalled throughout the whole process, I'm writing, and like literally right after finding out that I would lose a baby, I had a writing session. I'd be like, let's go, I just can't sit around thinking about this. Like, I want to work, I want to do this. The American Idol winner announced last month that she's pregnant with her second child. She and husband, former NHL player Mike Fisher, also have a 3-year-old son, Isaiah. Underwood said her Cry Pretty 360 concert tour will begin in May following her new baby's birth. The singer is to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this Thursday. Pop music star Ariana Grande took to Instagram Friday to express her grief over the death of rapper Mac Miller. Grande and Miller dated for 2 years before they split in May. Miller died on September 7th at the age of 26. The cause of his death has not yet been disclosed to the public. Since Miller's death, Grande posted an uncaptioned photo of him on her Instagram account. She also disabled the comments section after some people blamed her for his death. She broke her silence on Friday with another Instagram post. This time it was a brief video she took while she and Miller were out to dinner. Miller is wearing a sweatshirt that says, "Everything will be okay." Grande wrote, "I adore you from the day I met you when I was 19, and I always will. I can't believe you aren't here anymore. I really can't wrap my head around it. We talked about this so many times. I'm so mad. I don't know what to do. You were my dearest friend for so long, above anything else. I'm so sorry I couldn't fix or take your pain away. I really wanted to. The kindest, sweetest soul with demons he never deserved. I hope you rest okay now. Rest." Grande got engaged to comedian Pete Davidson in June. Eminem's Kamikaze is number 1 on the U.S. album charts. Coming in number 2 on the Billboard 200 is Travis Scott's Astroworld, followed by Drake's Scorpion number 3, Troye Sivan's Bloom in number 4, and Ariana Grande's Sweetener in number 5. Right at the top tier are Post Malone's Beer Bongs and Bentleys in number 6, Nicki Minaj's Queen in number 7, BTS's Love Yourself Answer number 8, Why Don't We 8 Letters at number 9, Juice WRLD's Goodbye and Good Riddance at number 10. The Predator, an alien horror film starring Olivia Munn and Sterling K. Brown, is the #1 movie in North America, earning $24 million in receipts this weekend, BoxOfficeMojo.com announced Sunday. Coming in #2 is The Nun with $18.2 million, followed by A Simple Favor at #3 with $16 million, White Boy Rick at #4 with $8.8 million, and Crazy Rich Asians at #5 with $8.7 million. Rounding up the top tier are Peppermint at #6 with $6 million, The Meg at #7 with $3.8 million, Searching at #8 with $3.2 million, Unbroken Path to Redemption at #9 with $2.4 million, and Mission Impossible Fallout at #10 with $2 million. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1957, Louis Armstrong cancels a trip to Russia. Louis Armstrong, the famous African-American jazz musician, angrily announced that he will not participate in a U.S. government-sponsored tour of the Soviet Union. Armstrong was furious over developments in Little Rock, Arkansas, where mobs of white citizens and armed National Guardsmen had recently blocked the entrance of 9 African-American students into the all-white Central High School. During the late 40s and 50s, the U.S. government faced a serious problem in its propaganda war against the Soviet Union. American societies had what some U.S. officials referred to as an Achilles heel racial discrimination. To counteract worldwide criticism of Americans' race problems, the U.S. government often sponsored world tours by African-American writers, artists, musicians, and sports figures. Former boxer Joe Louis, the Harlem Globetrotters, singer Mary Anderson, and many others were sent around the world as goodwill ambassadors. The famous trumpeter Louis Armstrong was much in demand both by the American government and by audiences overseas. In 1957, the U.S. arranged for Armstrong to tour the Soviet Union. Just before he was supposed to depart, however, events in Little Rock exploded. A federal judge had ordered the integration of the all-white Central High School in Little Rock. 9 African-American students tried to attend the school, but were turned away by an angry mob of whites and by armed National Guardsmen called out by Governor Overall Faubus. Armstrong was furious at what he believed to be inaction on part of the federal government to correct the situation. He declared, "The way they are treating my people in the South, the government can go to hell." Armstrong claimed that President Eisenhower had no guts in dealing with Faubus, whom he called an ignorant plowboy. He concluded, "It's getting bad. A colored man hasn't got any country." Armstrong's statements were a severe setback for U.S. officials and the American propaganda machine. Publicly, the U.S. government attempted to downplay Armstrong's statements by noting that they were said in the heat of emotion generated by Little Rock. Privately, however, U.S. officials were furious at the entertainer. The tension between vocal critics of the government and U.S. propaganda efforts only heightened as the civil rights movement became more active in the early 1960s, and more African Americans, such as Malcolm X and W.E.B. Du Bois, who went overseas, used their trips to condemn American racism rather than to defend American democracy. Also on this date in 1967, The Who sparked an explosion on national TV. In introducing them at the Monterey Pop Festival 3 months earlier, Eric Burden of the Animals had offered high praise for the up-and-coming British rock band The Who, promising the crowd a group that will destroy you in more ways than one. A substandard audio setup that day prevented The Who from unleashing the full sonic assault for which they were already becoming famous. But their high-energy, instrument-destroying antics inspired the next act, Jimi Hendrix, to burn his guitar and announce to the tens of thousands of festival-goers the arrival of a powerful new force in rock and roll. The rest of America would get its introduction on September 17, 1967, when The Who ended an already explosive nationally televised performance of My Generation with the literal bang that signed Pete Townshend's hair, left shrapnel and keep moves arm, and momentarily knocked the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour off the air. As buttoned down as its host appeared to be, the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour came as close as any network program could in 1967 to be culturally and politically subversive. Tommy and Dick Smothers fought for a running battle with CBS during their show's 3-year run over scripts that subtly tweaked the establishment and guests whose off-air politics were deemed controversial by network censors. Though there was nothing overtly political about The Who, it was more than just lyrics like Hope I Die Before I Get Old that marked the group as happy warriors in the generation battle being waged in the late 1960s. It was also, among other things, the sheer volume at which they preferred to play and their penchant for leaving every stage they played on looking as if a bomb had just gone off. On this day in 1967, one actually did. Keith Moon was already in the habit of placing an explosive charge in one of his two bass drums to detonate during Pete Townshend's guitar smashing at the end of each Who's performance. But for their Smothers Brothers appearance, Moon packed several times the normal amount of explosives into his drum kit, and when he set it off, a gigantic explosion rocked the set as a cloud of white smoke engulfed Townsend and singer Roger Daltrey. Though bassist John Entwistle never lost his cool, Daltrey practically flew downstage, and when Townsend emerged from the smoke, his hair was almost literally blown to one side of his head. Though the incredible explosion had been rumored to have caused Pete Townshend's eventual near deafness, credit for that should probably go instead to the Who's pioneering use of stacked Marshalls amplified as a means of achieving maximum volume during their live performances. And that is your entertainment report for Monday, September 17th, 2018. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.